my name is Monica. I am from Mexico.
Shushagotom, everyone. This is Safardi, and welcome to Bengal3scape, where we bring real stories from real people. This is the fourth episode of Not Too Cliche, and in this video, we'll be welcoming our special guest from Mexico. Please welcome Monica. So, without further ramble, let's ring the bell. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, estoy muy bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás?
Muy bien, muy bien. I'm fine. I'm trying to say it in Spanish. How's it going on the other side of the planet? Like, on my side is morning and on your side is night. So, how does it feel to be, talking with someone from the opposite side of the planet?
Oh, well, that feels great because like today is easier to communicate with people from another part of the world, but
Yeah.
it's also a little difficult because time difference, but it's amazing. I think that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
think we have 11, 12, or 13 hours difference in the
Yeah.
time zone. So it's literally the 180 degrees. I mean, the opposite.
Yeah.
But we made it happen. So yeah, good for us. Thank you for making the time though, because I know you have been busy for quite some time, and I was also busy with my stuff. So finally, we're having this time at the moment.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Mexico. Like starting with Mexico, let's start with the flag. I'm a huge fan of art or something which represents like a deep meaning. And when I see Mexico, the first thing I see is the middle part where an eagle is eating a snake or something.
Sorry, Zach.
Someone made that.
I have
So could you tell us about the flag? Like, what's the significance of the design and the art and the representation of it?
Okay, so when Aztec people wanted to establish a city, they were kind of told that the city was going to be where it was an eagle eating a snake. So they saw that in a lake, and okay, they just did what they needed to do. So they established a city in a lake. Yeah.
Well, fair enough, fair enough. You live in such a place which is, you told me once, it's not exactly a city, but it's also not a village. So, can you describe to me your landscape or the kind of area you live in? What do you have around, like markets and maybe schools, or how does it look like?
Yeah, it's actually like a contradictory thing because I have near me there are a lot of buildings or malls, a lot of things like that. But in the other side, there are also like ranches or like villages. So it's like I got like both parts, like the
Yeah.
best of the two worlds, I could say. So it's like I have cinemas near me. I have like places to eat, restaurants, and the city is really noisy, and it's traffic and all that stuff. It's sad.
Yeah, it's draining. Like, tell me about it. I live in the capital, and in fact, the place I live in, it's one of the most densely populated cities in the world, and super busy city in Asia itself. So, it's not always peaceful. It's a very robotic lifestyle, noise, pollution. Everyone's going, running all the time. The traffic is very congested. You don't
Yeah.
have a place to ride your bike or have some fresh air. You need to go to other places for that. So I can understand.
It's the same here. It's like there's always a lot of people, and my village is kind of near to like the center of Jalisco, well, Guadalajara, the center of Guadalajara.
Yeah.
So it's I can go easily, but also I need to like to take the bus and the subway. You know, it's not that near, but also it's not that far. You know.
Yeah, it's like a medium distance. But you need transport to reach there. You cannot just
Yeah.
walk there. I get it. Speaking of many people, I've heard this before, which is, I guess it's in most Latin American countries, but it's in Mexico. They're very bonded in the familia. Like they have so many people, maybe many cousins and uncles and relatives, and they value that bonding a lot. Even in the parties or whatever, they make great big ones, like big get-togethers.
Yeah, I think that's something funny because sometimes I know people from another countries and they say like, oh, I have a big family, and then they are like 20 or something like that, and I'm like, "Oh, that's not a big family, you know."
Oh my
Because-
god, seriously? 20 people is
Yeah.
not big?
Oh,
Wow.
no. Oh, well, like in a okay, like cousins and aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they say like that, like they are 20.
Yeah,
And
of
they
course. I don't mean like 20 brothers and sisters. I mean like
oh okay, but
cousins and all.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, as you were surprised, I felt like okay, maybe he thinks something else. But I see that you're also surprised.
I am, yeah. It's very
Yeah,
shocking.
but because I have okay, my mother has no 10 siblings,
Okay.
and my father has like 8 siblings or 7. So you know, I have a lot of aunts, uncles, cousins. Actually, one day I was like, okay, I'm going to count how many cousins I have.
Did you need a calculator?
Yeah. Well, I was just like, Mom, how many sons does my aunt have? And my mom was like, okay. And then I realized that I have like from both sides, my mother's side and that side, I have like 78 cousins. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I am struck, it's in Asia, let's say China, for example, they have, I guess, one kid now, or they stopped the law, but at one point of this century, they had a law that you can have one child, and then they changed it to okay, you can have 2 now. So yeah, when they hear this, they're gonna have a heart attack or something. Like, oh my god, this exists. I mean, I don't know. But
yeah,
it's hard to keep in track sometimes, right? For you,
yeah,
like,
that's
oh, you're my cousin. Okay, I forgot that.
yeah. Actually, it's like that because, for example, I live in a village that is near my mom's village where she lived before, and then we go there, and they like saying hi to everyone, and then she's like, "Oh, he's your uncle," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And for example, like once a year, and my mom's side of the family like makes a gathering from all the people that lives near. Sometimes they can go like everyone can go, but it's still like a huge family, you know. It's like we are like more than 100 there, just more than 100
And
eating.
everyone's family, like related, 100
like,
people.
oh, I see you once a year, but I think you're nice. And I know you're my cousin, and it's like that. Family is like a really important thing here in Mexico, and I think that's true. Sometimes it can be really good, you know, because you know, some people, even if it's from your family, can be like a bad person, or
Yeah,
they
it
can
can happen.
be that happens.
Mhm.
And Mexico is like, oh, but he is your father or she is your mother, so you can't say that to them, even if they are rude.
Mhm.
So that's something I don't really like about, for example, Mexican families,
Yeah.
that they want you to be always like,
Respectful to the. I understand. It's in Asia also, by the way. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean we don't have big families, but it's the same culture. If he's or she's your like elder someone in the family, someone older, yeah, you cannot speak above them. You just need to listen.
yeah. So I think that's like something that I don't really like about
Yeah.
Mexican culture, but I really love my family actually.
Yeah, that's
So
great. I mean, that's good for you. But I understand because freedom is also important. There needs to be like a balance. I mean, that's
yeah, yeah,
you love family, but also family needs to love you. Like they need to understand your. I mean, you know, your kind, your
yeah, like
personality, everything.
establishing like limits or something like that.
Yeah. So speaking about limits, Mexico is in the Ring of Fire, right? And it has
Yeah.
so many volcanoes in the country. And there's this one specific Popocatépetl. And can you tell me about it? Like, have you ever seen it with your own eyes, or um, when was the last time it had an eruption, like lava, coming out? Like, when did it happen last? I'm like curious to know.
Okay, I think that's not really active. Well, sometimes it's active, but not like a volcano is erupting. I don't know. So be careful because if the air can be polluted or something like that. Popocatépetl, we call it like that. Popocatépetl.
Popocatépetl? Popocatépetl.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, but actually that's not the right pronunciation.
Oh,
But we
really?
say, yeah, because it's
But it's not a Spanish word, right? Do you know like
yeah,
where did this even come from? Or
yeah, it comes from Nahuatl, I think,
is that a
and
language?
yeah, it's another language. It, it's actually a pre-Hispanic language,
Oh.
but it's spoken today, but like, not. There are not so many speakers, but it's one of the most spoken indigenous language.
I know one singer from Mexico. She's not a solo singer. She's a part of a global pop group, and it's called Now United. And her name is Sabina, and I really like her singing in the group. Um, I'm not sure if many Mexicans know her. She's in this group where there are like 18 members now, I guess, and everyone is from each country. So she's representing Mexico in that group. Yeah.
Wow, I
It's a
didn't
big
know
thing.
that.
And, another thing I want to ask you, I'm very curious about this, is that I've heard that the very first university in North America was first started in Mexico, and it was founded by Charles V, who was a Roman emperor, and the university is called UNAM.
Yeah, it's actually very pu- popular in Mexico because it's known as like the best university here. Actually, I have a friend that is studying there,
Oh,
and yeah, I don't really know a lot about that university, but
yeah,
I do know that it's very popular, and it's a good school.
it's a good one. Okay, yeah, I expected that because since it's supposedly the first one in North America, so it must be prestigious to a certain extent. Speaking of Mexico starting a lot of things, many things started or originated in Mexico that are very popular around the world. For example, avocado is very popular. Many people love that, eating that. Um, then pumpkins, without pumpkins, there's no Halloween in America. So they carve, making it like scary faces. So these are all coming from Mexico.
Actually, I didn't know about pumpkins. That's something new for me. But I knew from avocado. But actually, I know that it also came from another countries of the south. There is always like a discussion between if it's aguacate or palta, and it's like no, avocado is Mexican, so it should be aguacate. And they are like, oh, but it can also be palta. And it's like, okay. Actually, that word also comes from Nahuatl. That word means like testicles.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay, I think it's because of the appearance, I guess. So,
yeah.
I'm sorry to say I never had avocado in my life, but I'm planning to. Maybe one day. Yeah, it's not sold everywhere. You know, you need to go to some special supermarkets to get avocado. You won't find it in most fruit shops on the street. You know, it's very rare here.
Yeah, because actually here sometimes it's really expensive, and there have been some problems with avocado because you
Do they
know,
get injuries, the people?
oh, that was
Like
in USA.
USA, oh my God, yeah, like they cut and they get cuts in the finger and like we say laceration in the medical way. You know, I work with American doctors in my workplace. And so he's an orthopedic surgeon, hand surgeon, the doctor I work with, and almost every day there's like 3, 4 patients coming for a complaint of avocado cut. Like they were trying to eat an avocado, cutting it, and they made a mistake. And it's always Americans. It's not like the Hispanic community. It's always the American people.
I don't know, white people things. I don't know.
White people.
Yeah, here no, like
You reminded me of there's this cartoon puppet series on Facebook, some videos, and it's about stereotype jokes. You know, the Mexican guys on him. The stereotypes is like his name is Diego. He does drugs. He watches soccer, football, and tequila. Tequila. Oh my God!
yeah.
Everyone drinks tequila in Mexico. It seems so. Yeah, that was and tacos obviously. Tortilla tacos, eating all that.
And some stereotypes are true, you know, like
Mhm.
tacos, I will say that's like really common here.
Another popular singer from, I mean, she's American, but like her parents are from Mexico. She's Becky G, and a lot of people know her. She makes like, she used to make English music, and then she turned to Spanish to capture the Latin audience. Like, she has a lot of fans. So, is she popular in Mexico?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't really listen to her. But I think she's popular here. Yeah, I will say that.
Do you think like Spanish rappers will rap faster than English rappers? Like the
I'm
words
not
and all.
really sure.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. That was just a thought that I had.
Because, for example, when women pray here, they pray really fast. Yeah.
Oh, like in the church or like those places? Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it sounds like a rap when they are praying.
There are many religions in Mexico, I think. Like Buddhists and, right? Yeah, like there are not only Christians, I think. Is it like many
Yeah.
religions? Or
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know there are many religions, but like Christianism is like the most
The
important.
most, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think. Well, I heard a lot of time ago that Mexico was one of the like more Christian countries, and I think that's that's right, and that's like nowadays a fact. There is a lot of religious people here, most of them Catholic,
For example, in Brazil, they also have Christians, but many of their Christian traditions are they take some rituals or practices from Nigerian religions. Because many Brazilians are coming from those African continents, So I mean, ancient religions, some of them. So like in Mexico, does it have any mix or like of the Maya religion or those ancient maybe tribal religions, you think, or is it like purely biblical Christianity, you think?
Some pre-Hispanic traditions are now in Catholic religion. For example, there are some, like here in Mexico, some villages have the name of a saint. Yeah, a saint. Here where I live is called San Agustin. I don't know if you know San Agustin. It was like a really important saint. The day of San Agustin is actually in August. So we have like a celebration to that saint, and we have like some pre-Hispanic traditions, like an instrument called chirimia danza, that is people dancing with like traditional customs from pre-Hispanic cultures, So
Okay.
yeah, it's like that.
That makes sense.
Also, yeah, and also like a really important tradition from Mexico. Like it's known all over the world. Well, I think it's Dia de Muertos, the Day of Death. Have you heard about that?
Yes, they respect and honor I guess, the people who died, and I saw like on the street they have these not costumes. I don't know, like something like shape of the dead, or they're carrying it and they're marching. And are they like the saints, or what kind of dead people are they honoring?
Oh, like all dead people. It's like a day in November. November. So there is a special date, like the 2nd November, and a lot of people goes to the cemetery, and they, for example,
Pray,
yeah. Most people pray, but it's more like they give flowers to the dead people, to the it's a way to remember the people, and you put in that like commemoration you put the things they like. For example, if they like soda, you put a soda there, or if they like bread or something like that. Yeah, it's like that.
Do they is it like just to honor them, or do they somehow believe that the soul, or the spirit of the dead people will receive those gifts somehow? What is the belief here?
Yeah, that's something like that. That the people it's supposed to visit us, and in that day, so that's why we put like the altar. Let me see if I can see, and it's really colorful. It's about death, but it's really colorful. It's something like that.
Wow, I wouldn't know that it's about. I mean, that is something about that. It doesn't look dark at all. It looks something.
Yeah, it's like you remember people with joy because they love you and they were for you. That's like a mixture of Catholic tradition and pre-Hispanic tradition. It's like
because it's not in Catholic, I know, but it came from the pre-Hispanic
like
religions.
A combination.
Yeah. You know the smallest breed of dog, which is called Chihuahua, something like that pronounced. It's very popular in America as well. So I've heard that the name Chihuahua is a place in Mexico, and the dog originated from your country. So do you know anything about that, or any backstory?
Chihuahua is a place that is like in the border of the USA. It's close to USA. I don't really know the origin of Chihuahuas, but I
Okay.
know that it's like a really known, like a Mexican dog. Well, yeah, a Mexican dog. There is also another dog that is known in Mexico. Well, like it's from Mexico. That is Xoloscuincle.
Okay, I never heard about that.
No, it's like a bald dog.
Okay. So speaking of dead, the Day of Dead, it's a festival, right? I heard there is another festival in Mexico. It's on the January 6th. What day is that?
Yeah, that's Dia de Reyes. Well, that's something that is common here because, for example, in Mexico City, they celebrate like Dia de Reyes instead of Christmas. Well,
Yeah.
they celebrate Christmas, but they receive the gifts on January 6th. But in the other like states, it's not like that. We celebrate Christmas, but
Normally.
in Mexico City, they do that. But what we do in January 6th is we eat like a bread. We love bread. I would say like sweet bread.
The bread is awesome.
Yeah, so it's more like this bread is called Rosca de Reyes, and it symbolizes when, for example, the Virgin had to hide Jesus from the people who didn't want, Jesus to be saved, to be alive, you know.
Mhm.
So that rosca has like some plastic babies, yeah, like kind of things. And then if you you cook the rosca, and then if you get that children, that baby, you have to buy tamales, you know that.
No.
Okay,
Tamales.
it's not tortilla, it has food inside and it's like really soft.
Oh.
I love tamales. So
So
if you
we can move on to the language section, and on this section we'll be telling you 10 sentences, and you can tell us those sentences in Spanish. I'll teach you in Bangla, and then you repeat, and we'll
Okay.
make a bunch of mistakes, so that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so the first sentence is, how are you?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Camo nacho.
Can you repeat that?
Camo nacho.
Camon Nacho.
What are you doing?
¿Qué estás haciendo?
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Yeah, very good.
Tumi ki korcho.
Tumiki Corcho.
Where are you from?
¿De dónde eres?
De donde eres? Tumi kota থেকে এসছো?
Tumi Kutate Shego.
I like cats. I like cats.
Me gustan los gatos.
Me gustan los gatos. আমার বিড়াল পছন্দ.
Amar Pira Mocho. Can you repeat the last part?
Alright. আমার বিড়াল পছন্দ.
Pocho no?
পছন্দ. D-O. Do. পছন্দ.
Pochondo?
Yeah. আমার বিড়াল পছন্দ.
Arman Pira Chondo.
Yeah. I mean, the cats will be happy to hear that. I love tacos.
Amo los tacos.
Amo los tacos. It's,
Amo los
আমি tacos ভালোবাসি.
Ami tacos balobasti.
Yep, ভালোবাসি. Yeah, it means like love in the
ভালোবাসি.
form of a verb. I am a student.
Soy una estudiante o soy un estudiante. You know, if it's
Alright.
male, woman.
Soy un estudiante. আমি একজন student.
A mí, ellos, to them.
All right, screw that. I forgot to translate student. I mean, I'm used to using a lot of English words. আমি একজন ছাত্র.
আমি একজন ছাত্র.
What is the price of this?
¿Cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuál es el precio de? But it's more common to say ¿cuánto cuesta?
¿Cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuánto cuesta? Like you say it like that.
Yes.
এটার দাম কত?
এটার দাম কত?
Yeah. I am stupid.
I am what?
I am stupid.
Okay. It will say soy estúpido, estúpida.
Soy estúpido.
Yeah.
আমি একটা গাধা.
আমি একটা গাধা.
I love Mexico.
Amo México.
Amo Mexico. আমি মেক্সিকো ভালোবাসি.
আমি মেক্সিকো ভালোবাসি.
Yeah. I guess for Bangladesh I can say Amo Bangladesh. Bangladesh.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Can you tell me how to say it for Bangladesh now?
আমি Bangladesh. I forget the last part. Bashimo.
Okay. Bhalobashi. You can look at the camera and say Ami Bangladesh Bhalobashi.
Ami Bangladesh ভালোবাসি.
Yay! That was really nice. You nailed it.
Okay.
Okay. That was, guys, the brief episode with Monica today. I would like to thank you so much for being with us on such a rainy day. And also, guys, you can see that on this channel, Tao and Kiwi are not here for now because they needed to leave for their private, professional life and personal life. So I understand that, and I wish them all the best. I would like to thank them for being here with me for the first 3 episodes of this channel's podcast. And who knows, maybe new co-hosts might be taking over, like new faces you'll be seeing in the future. So stay tuned for that. And for Monica, thank you so much. Mucho gracias for being here on this video. We really appreciate that. In your busy schedule, you've joined us. So have you any thoughts about Bangladesh right now? Like before we even met, like a year ago, you did not know much about Bangladesh, but now maybe you know something. So have you changed the image, or do you have more interest in Bangladesh right now?
Yeah, I actually have a lot of interest in Bangladesh right now because, for example, as I knew the history of your language and how your language was so important for all the other languages all over the world, because you were the one that told me about like the backstory about the International Mother's Tongue Day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm glad you
that's
remember.
why I became really interested, because I really enjoy linguistics, like reading linguistics, and that was something that I didn't know, and now I read more about that, and I think that's like a really interesting story, and I would really like to go to Bangladesh someday.
Thank you so
and
much.
Know
that means a lot. Thank you, gracias. If you guys enjoyed this video, please follow Monica on Instagram and follow our channel. Hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comments. And with that being said, thank you for watching. This was your bird, Saf Hardy, signing off for now.
Bye.